What is going on, everybody, and welcome back to another week of the Quest podcast. I'm your host for the night, Remix Essence, and before we get on to things, I just want to say, who is that? One sec. I'm hearing myself. All right, I accidentally had the YouTube pulled up. All right, I just want to say that Onimus is gonna, not he won't be on the podcast for a little while at least, because of some personal things happening with him. If you know about that. But anyways, we're gonna go ahead and continue with the show, starting off with our panel members. Monkey Punch, how you doing, man?
Doing good, man. It's great to be back with you guys and getting some of these topics going on. And I want to shout out to Dark and hope everything goes well with him out there with his situation he's going through with his family, and hope the best for him.
Yeah, for sure. And M Baines, how you doing, dude?
Good, good. Ready to get into these topics, and yeah, I'm with Monkey. Special shout out to Dark, man. I hope he can, pull through everything that's going on.
hmm And as always, we'll start out with what we've been playing throughout the week. So, Baines, what have you been playing, man?
Really not much. I finished Far Cry 5 this weekend, and that's been about all the playing I've been doing. Which that wound up to be the ending of that was pretty interesting.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, I
but
definitely
other
got to
than
get out. I'm close to that. Be close to beating that game, but
yeah, but other than that, that's pretty much been it for me this week.
Nice, nice. Monkey, what have you been playing, man?
I've been playing some Far Cry, like Bane said. I think about halfway through the game. I think I'm fighting Jordan now. I think I got to him. So I've been playing that, playing PUBG like usual. I always play PUBG with King David. Shout out to the Ironworks podcast out there, and yeah, just rarity of games. It can be from Batman, it can be from Fortnite. It all depends on the
Yeah,
mood I'm in. There's so many games to play, don't know what to play.
for sure.
Yeah.
As for myself, I've been playing. I finished up Far Cry 5 over the weekend as well, which definitely had a crazy ending and definitely worthwhile. I think, you know, Far Cry's been pretty lackluster in previous games with their endings, kind of, and I felt like this was an interesting ending and a good one as well. So, highly recommend it. As well as I've been playing a little bit of Siege here and there, but not too much overall gaming this week. I need to get into, some PUBG and Fortnite probably this weekend because I've not played either of those games in a little bit, and I'm sure they've got some good updates that have come out since. But getting into the topics for the night, we're going to start out with Sea of Thieves laying out their content plans. So um, we've got a few different things to talk about here, but first they're going to be adding weekly events, which will be adding random rewards to stuff. They'll be adding things around the map, new mechanics and stuff, and so we can look forward to those weekly events. As well as in May, they're going to be bringing the Hungering Deep, which is an AI threat. Later in the summer, they're going to be bringing Cursed Sails, which is another AI threat. Also going to be adding a ship at that point. And their final update for the summer is going to be Forsaken Shores, which is a new area, also adding a new AI threat. And throughout these, there will be timed events along with 3 more updates following in the fall and winter, which they have not announced yet. So, what are you guys' thoughts on all this?
Honestly, I just think it's stuff that should have been in the game when it launched. I haven't played Sea of Thieves, so I mean, I'm not gonna dump on the game, but still, one of the biggest problems that we hear with it is that the lack of content. But
Mm-hmm.
let me rephrase that. I have played Sea of Thieves, just not the finished version.
Yeah.
But from what I've heard, the finished version is not too far off, and even what I've seen in gameplay on Twitch or whatnot, the finished version is not too far off from what I actually played. So, um, This is to me this is content that should have been there. And if they have this ready this quickly after launch,
Mm-hmm.
gonna have this content ready this fast, to me, then they just purposely held it back.
Yeah, I
Which
mean,
I don't think
part
they
of
held
it
it
could
back.
be
I
to
think.
maintain that if they did already have this previously planned content, part of that could be to maintain, um, just maintain your audience throughout the game's life cycle, which is understandable, especially if these updates do have enough to keep you immersed and do come out on a fairly quick basis. It seems kind of like it might be every other month based off the scheduling. It'd be nice to see a little bit like monthly stuff, but I think through the weekly events and stuff, this will shake up the world a little bit. I don't know how much, but I think
do you
that
think
it's a
it's
good
enough
thing.
to do you think it's enough to bring people back? Because Sea of Thieves has already lost a big
Yeah.
amount of its audience, amount of its player base. I mean, a
Yeah.
lot of them
Yeah.
have already moved on.
That's what I was
Yeah.
gonna say. I think it might be
Yeah.
enough to bring me back, but again, I've barely played the game. I pretty much loaded up,
Right.
played it, and got off. So I think it's enough for me to check it out as a fan and like somebody that's trying to like talk about video games and stuff. But I don't know if it'll be enough for the average consumer.
I think it would
Right.
be because I play it. I have fun with it. A lot of people don't play it and say that's horrible. It's a fun game. It's a different experience. You play with a couple buddies and just going off and it's a nice little vast world. They should have had more content. I think Microsoft rushed this game, made Rare rush it to get it out because they
But
They
wanted to
didn't
four
market
rush
it.
it. They had a
years, yeah,
fucking year
4
beta
years.
testing where they did absolutely nothing. And that's my biggest issue with this game is
Mhm.
you had an opportunity to build on your world and now you're coming out with a video like, "Oh, we're building on the world." Now, I think it is good that they presented us a roadmap of what they're going to do and they do seem to have some actual decent plans, but
Mhm.
I
And one of
think
the
it's also
things
because
too,
they're like, "Oh shit, our
Well,
game hasn't
it's
been
good.
out that long and it's already losing player base." So.
It's
and
good that he gave a roadmap.
I know one of the main complaints during the beta phase or alpha phase or whatever you want to say was content.
Yeah.
Mhm.
What are you going to be able to do more than this? What else are you going to be able to do? And they had a long time to try to fix that issue, and it still wasn't fixed.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. You guys are right what you're saying because they had a lot of time. They could have had all this stuff in there. It's simple stuff
Right.
with
With
enemies
AI,
and AI and
they couldn't have had
eh,
AI in the game. Are you serious? You know what
come
I'm
I know
on,
you can
saying?
have you can have
you
thought of a
know,
little bit more than a fucking skeleton. Like, come on.
Right.
come on. There's got to be another kind of creatures out there that you can
Yeah, plenty of sea
put in the
creatures,
world. Serious sea
ghosts,
creature. It
fucking
goes.
other
Have like
shit.
some kind. Have like a
Do
like
they have more than sharks in the game? I don't. Or is it more as
They
there's
far
have
as
like the
sharks. They go
kraken, which I
kraken.
haven't experienced, but
I experienced the Kraken over the weekend, dude. It was pretty crazy. I was surprised.
yeah.
We're just doing our because
did
we're
you go
we're doing the
his body?
his body. I never looked down there. We just got attacked by him. He started grabbing the whole boat and putting his tentacles all over, and we're just sitting there
Uh,
throwing cannons at him and
how did you
shooting
guys
his.
fight him off? Or
We shot cannons at him, and we just constantly just used our blunderbuss guns or like we're
Mhm.
snipers and we survived it. I got the achievement. It was pretty cool. It was a rare achievement surviving the Krakens. I
Nice.
guess. But I have fun with it because me and my friends we play there. We get because I've been trying to do the 20 chest achievement and I think it's been screwing me because I've done it like twice already and it still hasn't gave it to me because we go out there and get all those chests. I understand it's the same thing. They need to
Mhm.
give you more better direction when you're using a map because I understand they want to make it a little bit difficult for you to look at the map and try to figure out what on the island you're
But
at.
it
Where
does
you
kind of become a constant thing of just scanning. Like you're like, all right, like
just guess. You're basically guessing unless you're
Hmm.
great with maps and great with narration. I could rarely find the treasure
yeah.
boxes unless somebody I know that played with has already done it already. Like, oh, it's right here, or But they do need more content. They said they gave us a roadmap. At least they gave us that. I know they should have done it in the first place, but
Yeah, at least it's
at
there.
least,
You're
at
right.
least it's there. Like Microsoft then gave us a roadmap. So at least Sea of Thieves gave us a roadmap in their game actually.
Yeah.
And that roadmap and what games are coming out. So
How much do you actually like run into other players throughout the world? Because I know one of their things they mentioned in their video they made is with one of these DLCs they want to kind of bring. Their idea was kind of bring differing crews together to fight this mass AI that might be out there. So how much interaction do you find with other players throughout the world?
I find a lot of interactions. There's some people who are nice people. Some people are cool with you. They won't try to loot you. Or some people. I had one guy we were playing the last weekend we were playing, and we had a random because one person had to drop out.
Mm-hmm.
So this guy, they gave us a random, and we're doing our quest. You get the chickens, and you can get the chickens in little basket. Little cages, and you take them, and you can get money for them. We always put our certain treasure in certain areas. There was one person, he kept grabbing the chest. The chicken and bringing it upstairs where I had it downstairs, but he didn't hear it because he was in a different game chat. And then he ended up trying to steal our treasure. The guy went down there, grabbing the treasure, jumping off the ship, running off. Then we had to ban him and put him in the what do you call the
Put him in jail.
Yeah, we had to put him in jail because he was basically being an ass. He was just like trying to take our treasure, and we have our own thing. Me and other guys, we're just playing our thing. But there's a couple people that'll wave at you and say hi to you. Don't even try to loot your ship or it all depends on some people just want to mess with you and just want to. Hopefully sometimes you might not have anything. You're just wasting your time. You're trying to loot us, but we don't have chests on our ship. But I have fun with the game. Some people don't have fun. I get a couple guys in and we have fun, dude,
Yeah, one of my biggest issues kind of with this is just that we're still, even though we have this roadmap, we're still very in the dark because they are very secretive about what exactly these AI will be and stuff. And I think that's because they want to express that content through the world. You run into an NPC and the storyline or whatever is delivered to you, but at the same time they're like world building and adding these mechanics and blah blah blah. And overall, it's just a lot of talk without much substance. So we'll see really how much they do add, because when they do mention some things, they're like, oh, well, we're going to add some cursed cannonballs, which is cool, but like, come on. Or they're going to add skeletons hidden through skeleton kings hidden throughout the world to promote exploration. And maybe you'll get some rewards from that. And maybe that will be valuable if they do reward you well enough. But at the same time, what will they reward you with? Because they don't have anything really in the game to do that with so far,
Right. They really don't. They really don't. You do the same stuff all the time.
And see, that's one thing they need to change is that lack of vertical progression. It's only, people will get tired faster of just getting cosmetics and stuff for doing.
Yeah, because everything you get,
because
everything you get, it's just a skin over it. That's it.
Right. You want to get.
You're not getting nothing's overpowering somebody else.
Right.
If you got a gold weapon, gold pistol, it's not gonna make a difference. It just looks cool. That's it. Nothing else.
Yeah.
At some point, you want to feel like you're getting more powerful. When you're putting all this time in doing something.
Yeah, true. Especially you want to be a pirate legend, and what's the point of being a pirate legend if you're not?
Yeah, what is the point of being a pirate legend? You're not getting any stronger. You're not.
No.
You just have more quests open to you. That's not really a incentive to keep pushing.
Yeah. They should have had some kind of a story in there, something to do. I know they got all these islands.
Or I feel like they could have really created more vibrant characters, and created, world and story through that, and maybe had more of kind of a mission set set up throughout the world where you kind of get to know these individual characters by taking on their missions and stuff. Maybe something like that would provide, a
Right.
lot more
Oh yeah.
substance for people. But anyways, unless we've got any other thoughts on Sea of Thieves, we'll go ahead and move on.
Okay.
No, man. I
Yeah,
just hope. I mean, I'm glad that they're coming out with the content now because that is pretty fast. But I do think it's kind of like even I think it is too little, too late. Because I think the majority of their audience is gone or they're
Yeah.
steadily dropping off. And
Yeah,
I
I
don't think they're
agree.
gonna come back. I mean, they may. Now, I may be wrong. It'll be good if
yeah.
they do, but I just don't. You got too much other. You got too many other games that's coming
Exactly.
now back to back to back to take the attention that they waited too long, and you're not gonna get those gamers back.
Yeah, and
You
I
may
feel
get
like we
them.
have a strong shuffle of, nothing's probably that big, but still a good shuffle of like summer games coming to us as well.
Right.
That you might or may be more fun than Sea of Thieves or take less time, which could be a thing as well. People might game less if they're gaming less in the summer or whatever.
Right.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think it's enough for me to take another look at it possibly, or at least check it out. But yeah, if other games are coming out, I'll probably be drawn to those. So
Right. Right.
anyways, though, moving on, Black Ops 4 is apparently not going to have a single player campaign in it. Apparently they said, and this is kind of rumor, none of it is confirmed, but apparently the source said that they just didn't think that they would be able to finish the single player campaign, and therefore they're putting more focus on their multiplayer and zombies mode, as well as they may be adding a co-op mode with some missions here and there to fill in a bit for that single player mode. But anyways, what are your guys' thoughts on COD not having a single player?
To me, I
Um,
really don't. I really don't care because I don't buy the Call of Duty games. But I think it's kind of dumb if they say they don't have enough time. They got 3 different studios doing 3
Yeah.
different games. You tell me they can't have that
yeah.
already in. I think they're just trying to push it where they can just have more put into the multiplayer because they know everybody wants to play multiplayer and the zombies and stuff like that. And then I heard they're
Especially
going to be
microtransactions.
and they're going to push microtransactions with it. And plus, I heard they might even put a battle royale mode on this game. That sounds like really ridiculous. A game like Call of Duty.
Yeah, we've talked about that kind of before. That there had been talk of battle royale, but they say they want to do something different anyways, and be innovative. But who knows? How different they're going to be. I think that's kind of what this leads me to believe is that they are going. The reason they're not having that single player is because they're going to focus on expanding just the range of multiplayer modes. You're going to have your classics. With World War II, they introduced the war mode, which was kind of more of a payload type, like mode coming from, say, something like Overwatch. And now they're adding this. Possibly adding a battle royale mode or any other popular modes that may pick up, which I'm sure they'll add timed events to and stuff, which is something Call of Duty's been doing more often now as well, doing holiday events and stuff, which they never did in the past. So I think Call of Duty is definitely kind of transforming, shifting, towards that multiplayer focus. And it's kind of unfortunate because I feel like they've always had pretty good single player campaigns for the most part.
Right.
Yeah, they
Right.
always did.
And
They
And
always
that's
that's
did.
my
really where
thing
they got
too.
their name from to start.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So,
And I'll tell you, I think we may have discussed this in a podcast last year or something. And I know we discussed Call of Duty maybe slowly moving towards just multiplayer. And so this wasn't a surprise to me, but I've always said like because
it was eventually going to happen. I knew it was. It had to.
I'm the one that I buy Call of Duty. I'll get it whether I get it on sale or whatnot or whatever.
Yeah.
I'll get it every year, but I get it for the single player. I
Yeah.
play the
I
single
love.
player,
Yeah.
and
Like.
that satisfies me because Call of Duty has had a pretty decent single player, except for Black Ops 3, I want to say.
Yeah, that's what everybody's
Um,
been telling me. Black Ops 3 was like the worst story campaign,
but
they said.
besides that, they've had a pretty solid single player, in my opinion, every year. But now they would lose a customer like me because I hardly ever touch the multiplayer, like ever. Like I'll
Yeah,
play
me
Call of
either.
Duty single player and then hop over and play Battlefield's multiplayer. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it,
It's
to
horrible.
me, I understand it. I think we expected it,
Mhm.
but they would lose me as a customer. Now I won't touch Call of Duty. Period.
Well, they
There would be
they
no
lost
reason for
me.
me
They
to.
lost me because I don't even
Yeah.
bother buying them every year. It's
Yeah.
a game that I just don't have interest anymore in. I don't play them
Yeah.
anymore.
Well, even I bought World War II, and I do think it is actually a good Call of Duty. I think the game plays out pretty well. Uh, the maps are a little like I like some of them. For the most part, the maps are kind of shitty.
Um,
But overall, it is a better COD than lately. But still, yeah, I think COD's just ultimately lost me. That gameplay is just old and repetitive and
yeah,
boring.
it does get
And I
repetitive.
think
I'm
you
pretty
really
sure it
see
does.
other people really grow up out of this. Like I mean, Battlefield last year had their best year, and some of the guys from I think a guy from Dice even gave some thoughts and they see this as a
Yeah,
great opportunity for them, and they're gonna focus on bringing I think kind of those individualized stories, kind of like they did in Battlefield 1. Hopefully they're a little bit more bringing in. Honestly, I enjoyed the campaign throughout Battlefield 1 overall, though.
Yeah, I like those little mini
So
that's the
stories.
reason
They're
why I
cool.
bought them. When I did buy them, that's the reason I bought them is for the single player campaign.
yeah,
That's the reason why I bought them because I love the way they made it look like a Michael Bay kind of like story,
mhm.
explosions, and a decent story. That's what made
Yeah.
me
Well,
always
you
want to
got a
buy
lot of
them.
little short stories, is kind of what it
Right, in
was like.
Battlefield.
And I
Yeah.
personally
It was
enjoyed
really
it. Some
good.
people weren't such fans, but you definitely have people moving into this space. So, do you think how do you think this is going to affect Call of Duty? I feel like it would affect them pretty negatively, even though most of their base is playing the multiplayer aspect of their game. But what are you guys' thoughts?
Right. I mean, I'm pretty sure there's a lot of the audience kind of like me that
Yeah.
play just the single player. So they'll lose those people, and I guess we'll just get to see how large that contingent is. I mean,
Hmm.
I don't know. I think Call of Duty still has a while before we start to see
Yeah, but it's ever so slowly depleting.
yes, slowly. That's why I said it. We still have a while.
Yeah, it may be here
Um,
for 5, 10 more years, but
yeah,
it's never gonna. At least at what it looks like now, it's not gonna be what it used to be, and it's gonna continue this downward trend. Kind of
right.
just because Activision is a shitty company and they've got shitty
Yeah, yeah. They
practices.
already know. We already know they're a shitty company. They know that.
So
So they're basically going to follow the trend because I even read an article saying that, like you said, Battlefield now thinking about, like they're happy about they heard that they announced that they might not have a linear. They said a non-linear storyline. They said that's what they're not going to have, a non-linear storyline. So, and
yeah,
now
which
this
is
is
what
an,
they did in Battlefield
and
One.
yeah, now Battlefield One's probably going to think, well, we don't need to do a campaign. But understand this is they're going to charge you $60 for this game regardless. It don't matter if there's no single player. They're going to
Hmm.
still charge you $60. So basically, it's like a Destiny game just without no single player. But
Yeah,
single player in Destiny wasn't really that great anyways either. But at least they gave you that option to have it there. But I like to
yeah,
have that option. I like to have that single player when I buy a Call of Duty. When I do buy them, I like to have that because that's the main thing I go for. I rarely play the multiplayer because
yeah,
I played them so much back in the 360 era. It seems the same, but just better graphics, a little bit more different stuff, and they just add on the different
yeah,
modes and the zombies and whatever. But I
yeah.
don't think it. I mean, people are still going to buy it regardless. You're not going to stop anybody buying it. It don't matter if they put just this multiplayer. That's going to make it
And even their
more.
zombies mode, like I've been a big fan of zombies. I played it a lot a lot in Black Ops 1 and some in Black Ops 2. The original maps in Black Ops 2 kind of suck, but some of their DLC was good. But even their zombies, it's just gone downhill from Treyarch, I think, overall. And now the other companies are doing zombies, which, still, are just getting weirder and adding more craziness, which I'm not a fan of. I kind of like more simplistic, get the, the most important perks in your zombies. And honestly, I feel map design's just been off lately on those as well. But moving on, the creator of Dungeons of Dragons, some of his works are going to be recreated, coming to life through video games. His son is becoming the head of this new company that's going to be working on finding developers to create some of these old works and make them into video games, as well as I think they've started like a GoFundMe and stuff to help create some games and stuff. So they'll be bringing a lot of role-playing games through this. What are you guys' thoughts?
I know Dungeons and Dragons is I guess you let the PC crowd say. I mean, it's been around for a long time, right?
Yeah, it is. I used to play that when I was a kid. When I was younger, I used to play with my friends. Like it was mostly role playing. Like actually, it was based off like a board game.
Yeah. So did they make a video game as well? I know about the board game.
They made a Dungeons and Dragons game, but
and I don't think this is going to be a game. I think this is going to be like other like games he's like worked on that are going to be.
I think it was
games. I think there's going to be a series of multiple things coming out of this. At least that's the plan.
Unpublished book or something. Unpublished like book or game they have never made. I'm guessing because I really never got into the Dungeons and Dragons things. I had a lot of friends that did that. People like Magic and the Gathering. And, all that kind of stuff back. But I was never really into that kind of like.
Yeah, it's kind of before my time, and I don't know.
That's my
Dungeons and Dragons is a little bit nerdy. I feel like that would take a long ass time to play the actual board game. And stuff.
I never played it, but it was around. It's like that's like hardcore nerdy thing there, like that. Like you
say hardcore nerdy.
Hardcore nerdy, dude.
It is, bro.
But it has had a lot of.
I'm a gamer, dude. I ain't a hardcore like that, dude. I'm like got that role-playing thought in your head to play a game where there's actually nothing there, but you're just like acting out. Some people play games where they act out the whole game, and I don't know, just not my thing. I'm too old for that,
Yeah, I feel you on that one.
But nonetheless, Dungeons and Dragons definitely has had an effect on the role-playing world and the video game world. So it'll be cool to see what comes about from this. There's not a lot of details, but if you're interested, you can go check that out. Oh, and also I forgot to mention earlier that if you are interested in Black Ops 4, they will be revealing the game on May 17th, so you'll see more information on that. But anyways, moving on, NBA Playgrounds 2 got a announced trailer, and it's going to be coming out in the summer of 2018, so this summer. Personally, I played the first game through Game Pass pretty recently, and I really enjoyed it. There was no online base because the game was older at that point, and I don't know if it ever really had a thriving online base, but I do remember people really playing it a lot more when the game did first drop. So I'm personally looking forward to picking this game up probably when it drops. What about you guys? Have you ever played it? You interested in it?
I have it on the Switch actually. It was.
Oh, do you?
Yeah, it was a pretty decent game just to play. Hop in and play here and there. So yeah, I'll definitely be interested in the next one. It gave me a lot of because I was a big NBA Jam player. When that first dropped.
When I saw it gave me that NBA Jam feeling.
Yeah, it gives me that feeling, even though it's a lot. It's a lot more updated. I'll put it that way. Controls a little bit more tighter and things of that nature.
Yeah, and they got updated characters, updated rosters and stuff like that.
But I'll be interested in. It'll be something I would pick up on the Switch. But I'd definitely be interested in it.
For sure.
Yeah.
What about, did you guys ever play, did you have it as well, Monkey? You guys ever play any online at all? Was that good?
Well, see, when it first came out, they had an issue, like it wasn't online.
Yeah, it
And I think they
wasn't.
added that later.
Yes, I used to have the On Fire edition, the NBA Jam On Fire edition back in the 360 era, and
But
that
I
was a pretty good. That game just reminds me of. That's why I might would like to play it. It'd be a game to just get there and jump in and play a couple
Mhm.
matches of
Yeah, I just waste time,
around.
trying to complete the
Yeah,
challenges
yeah,
within the game and
exactly,
stuff.
yeah,
exactly.
So
definitely.
I
Yeah,
definitely say,
it might be a good game to pick up, man.
yeah. I mean, I'll probably pick it up if depending on the price. But yeah, that's one to look out for in the summer of 2018. Another little game we've got coming out also this summer is Brawl Out, which it's been announced and stuff before. I think this is just its official announce of the summer, but it's kind of a Smash Bros like platform brawler. It looks pretty cool. They introduce Juan from Guacamelee and Hyper Light Drifter, I think. So it seems like it has some cool characters in it from the gaming world. Have you guys seen this, and what are your thoughts?
Well, Brawlhalla, that sounds like that title on Nintendo Switch, right?
I think it is. I don't know exactly. It was like kind of skewed when I was looking at like an article on it. It kind of seemed like it was announced in 2016. It was maybe on PC. Now it's coming to console. I'm not sure exactly what the deal is with this, but I don't know. It's just something that I saw on the PlayStation YouTube that caught my eye.
Okay.
Oh, okay. So it's called
Yeah,
Breakout. You said
Brawl Out.
right?
Brawl
Yeah, I
Out.
believe
Okay.
that's the same one that's on Switch. I think it
Yeah.
came on Switch first, if I'm not mistaken.
All
I
right.
never
Probably
played
did.
it. It looked pretty decent. But there were some issues with it when it came to Switch, so I never got into it. They were trying to make it kind of like a Smash Brothers. It's
Yeah.
kind of like a yeah.
Oh, they
So
did. They did make like a Smash Brothers.
Well, that's
well,
what it
that's what
looked
they
a lot
were.
like.
Yeah,
I
that's
mean,
what
it's
they were
kind of
getting
it's got
at.
those worlds with kind of the platforming in it, but it's a
Right,
brawler.
right,
Um, it didn't look as much like there were necessarily drops or anything in the world, but your characters has special powers, and there is that like punch you out of the world and stuff.
right.
Okay. Okay.
But
Yeah, and
anyways, that
I was actually interested in the game, but I just there was a bunch of reviewers that said it was just a bunch of issues with it. So
yeah,
I
it didn't have very high reviews. It had like
yeah,
60 on Metacritic or something.
so
Oh
I
wow.
always thought about going back and looking for it later on or on a sale or something like that. But the game looked like it could be fun. But now
Hmm.
that Smash Brothers is actually coming, I mean, I don't see who's going to be checking
Yeah.
for this game.
Hey, but remember that game that PlayStation had, Battlestar All Stars or something?
Yeah, I remember
PlayStation. I
that.
remember that one. It
Yeah.
was like like a kind of a copy of the Smash Brothers, but with like Sony characters for their
Yeah, yeah. This
like
is in the
Kratos.
same vein. I don't think it has any like iconic characters for anybody. I mean, because that would from anybody because that would take money.
Oh yeah,
Brawl Out.
definitely.
Well,
Yeah,
they
Brawl Out.
said they have a character from Guacamelee that they showed off in this trailer, as
Yeah, like
well
I
as
said,
Hyper Light
iconic.
Drifter. But these are yeah, they're small time, yeah,
Yeah,
little
Yeah,
characters. But I
nowhere
mean,
near iconic.
Guacamole. I played Guacamole. Guacamole was a good
yeah,
game.
people have played that shit, so you
Yeah,
know.
yeah.
Anyways, though, another little game. It's called Battlezone Gold Edition, and it was originally VR only, but now it is also like just non VR. You can just play it. And it's supposed to release May 1st. It's basically your tank, and you're fighting like alien invaders. It's got a kind of Tron like art
Yeah.
style to it, kind of crazy. But it can also be played in co-op. And I personally think that this looked like a really cool game to play in VR. So if I had a VR headset, this would definitely be something I'd look at picking up. Even without VR, it might be a fun game. But I feel like bringing a game like kind of fast paced, kind of tank shooter game like this to VR is interesting and definitely mixes up that game space a little bit more. But what do you guys think?
I mean, I think it could work. PlayStation already has like It has a Battlezone type tanky. You're in a big tank when you
That's what it's
shoot.
called. That's what I'm talking
Yeah.
about. That's what we're talking about.
Yeah.
Oh, that's it.
Yeah, I believe so.
I
Yeah,
thought it
I've
was
seen a
already
trailer.
out.
I've seen a trailer. It's like, yeah, he says it does have a resemblance of
It says
Tron.
May 1st.
Yeah, I did look it up. It said May something.
So,
well, I guess that's poop on my face, huh? But nah, I've played it. I've played it in like the PlayStation. They give you like a disc where you can try a bunch of different games, and that's why I thought it was out. But nah, the game it is actually pretty fun, man. I mean, it can be addicting. You actually feel like you're in a big tank.
yeah.
Like when you look side to side of me, you got all the controls right there. I mean, it's pretty decent.
Well, it may actually be already out because this is called Battlezone Gold Edition, so this is probably just like the complete version.
Okay, yeah, because I've actually thought about going back to get it myself. I just hadn't done it, but yeah, man, it's fun. I will say that.
Yeah, it looks fun. It looks like it'd be a fun game to play.
Yeah,
So,
I definitely recommend a look, especially if you are into VR,
I would too, because
Battlezone.
I've actually played it, and I can tell you for sure it is fun.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, moving on, Ubisoft gave its date for E3, which is going to be that Monday, June 11th, from 1 Pacific to starting at 1 Pacific or 4 Eastern. But more so than that, I just kind of want to get into, maybe some thoughts we have for Ubisoft's E3. So what do you guys want to see from Ubisoft? Maybe some predictions and whatnot.
Give me a Watchdogs 3.
Give me a Splinter Cell. Give me a new Splinter Cell, please.
Yeah, I'm a little confused on what exactly they're planning on with Splinter Cell, because we've definitely heard that it's been in the works for a while, but then they dropped this Wildlands little DLC, so I don't know if that's just supposed to be kind of more hype to like a teaser, or if that or what exactly their plans are going to be for Splinter Cell.
I'm hoping if they
That's
put
what
that
I was
in
thinking.
Wildlands,
It was a teaser.
They put it on Wildlands.
It was a teaser for the big show.
They gotta say, yeah, we're bringing. And plus, they had the interview with Michael Ironsides on the Xbox, the Inside Xbox. So that was pretty cool to hear his voice, And I remember that voice so much because I used to play those back in the old OG Xbox system. And it'd be awesome to have him back, because he played. That's his character, Sam Fisher, man. He even told you how he met. He got the name from a person he met a long time ago, and he gave a whole little background about Sam Fisher and the name and everything. It was pretty cool.
Yeah,
nice.
I would think it's a teaser for a game that's coming. And yeah, Splinter Cell's been rumored for a while now, so I'm pretty sure we're gonna get something.
Yeah, I know we know some people that said oh yeah, it's for sure coming. It's for sure coming at last E3. So.
Oh, did you? Hey, I got one topic I wanted to throw out to you guys real quick that I found out. I was looking on Twitter. Mike Ibarra tweeted out, Rise, the character from Rise.
Mm-hmm.
I saw
he tweeted out. You see how he tweeted out that picture? He goes, I remember this guy, and then I was like, I was like, come on, dude, do not troll me for a Rise 2, dude. Don't put that up, man, because I love Rise, dude. That game was freaking awesome. I'll be happy even if they give us a 4K update on the freaking Rise for the old Xbox, dude. That game looked fucking magnificent on the next, dude. Oof.
Hey, maybe Rise in Rome 2 this year's E3 at Xbox. That'd be dope. That'd be exciting.
They need to buy They need to buy Crytek, dude. Seriously, dude. Buy the technology and use it in the game, dude. If they're not going to make any games from the studio, let them buy the technology they got and have it used in games, because that technology is great. Known it's not been used lately, but
yeah, man, Crytek's an interesting company and property.
Yeah.
Anyway,
I don't think you're getting a Rise though.
Yeah,
I doubt it. Highly likely.
Back to Ubisoft though, yeah, man, definitely. I would like to hear about a possible Watchdogs 3. That would be pretty exciting. I didn't play the first one, but I enjoyed the second Watchdogs, even though
I did too.
I never played the part one. I never played part 2.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of people had their problems with part 1, but a lot of people, I believe, discounted part 2. I felt like it was
because
a
of
really
part
good
one.
game, and I think it threw people off because of its kind of hipster look. But in reality, I felt throughout the game it was kind of making fun of hipsters and kind of making
Yeah,
fun of itself in that way, and
it
I actually
did.
found it pretty hilarious and a real good, pretty good, solid game. So I'd be hyped for Watchdogs 3, as I know you said, Baines.
Yeah.
Yeah, I definitely got to try out Watchdogs 2. I've not tried it out. I did play the first one, and I just couldn't get into it. And like they showed the game as how what it was, but
Yeah, I think that threw a lot of people off, like I said, but and they didn't really give it as much of a look as they should have. So
Yeah, they really didn't. Would you
especially
want them to
coming
keep the same character lineup? Or would you
no,
want
not
them
the
to
same
change it?
character.
No, I
They'll
think they
change
can
it up.
change the character. I mean, they did with the first one. I don't necessarily think that these characters, they don't have any more story necessarily although to talk about. Although I will say, like the kind of like the I don't know, like the dude with the mask, like he was pretty dope. So he should stay. He should be like a character somewhere in the game, like a cameo. But
True.
as for other stuff, I hope or expect to see I think we'll see something on the Division 2, as well as both Beyond Good and Evil and Skull and Bones were announced last year, which I'm sure we'll see more on this year, especially because Skull and Bones is supposed to have a 2018 fall release. So you guys excited for any of those games?
Division 2, I am.
I am. I
I've
like
actually
Division
thought
1.
about getting into getting back just to get the feel of Division again, in preparation for Division 2.
And plus, they got that
Um,
4K one update on it too.
yeah, and plus they've probably a lot of people say it's a completely different game, kind of like how Destiny 1 started out, and then if you left it and you came back after all the updates and all the season
Yeah.
pass and everything, it was a totally different game almost. And they say the same makeover has happened to Division, so I've been interested in here lately. I've been thinking about whenever I get some
Yeah.
time
I don't know.
going
I'm still
back in just to
skeptical
try it.
on that
You know,
unit because they say they went back and with Destiny 1, and I never played Destiny 1, but and then you have Destiny 2, which on the surface at first they seemed like it fixed some of their problems, but in reality it just had a whole new set of its own problems
right?
in
Right.
Endgame and stuff. But I really liked the beginning of the Division. It did have some Endgame issues in terms of like just by the end of the game you're just running through like the Dark Zone collecting these parts to build better weapons, and these parts did not like spawn enough. Like I think they only spawn every 24 hours and stuff, and it
Right.
just got tedious towards the end. But I think they have a lot that they could do with this IP. I don't know. Do you think they should stay in New York or go somewhere else?
I think they should try going somewhere else.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
try something. But what other city you think they should put? Like
Chicago
Chicago
would be a
yeah.
big city. That'd probably be a good one to start with.
Yeah.
I feel like
Yeah.
California has done too much. Like different areas, like L.A., San Francisco. Fuck that shit.
We had
Yeah,
those already, so I guess yeah.
yeah, I could definitely see Chicago. Do you think what more could they do? What more do you guys think they could do in the Division 2? In terms of enemy variety and kind of like the bullet sponginess of the characters and
Yeah,
stuff.
I was just about to
Because
say about the bullet sponge.
yeah, because you're kind of stuck in this. I don't know. Like, do you think they should take a turn? Like, maybe this disease kind of that's hitting the U.S. and the world should should it mutate people a little bit or something? Create a new enemy. What are you guys' thoughts?
They could go that route. I mean,
Yeah,
they
I
set the
think they
stage
could.
for it, so they could. It would be interesting. Yeah, they do need to get rid of that bullet issue, the spongy issue, because humans are not going to take that many bullets. It just doesn't make
No,
sense.
definitely no, I don't. I
So
played and
they
I leveled up the highest, and I get I'm still high, and it still takes me a long time to shoot down these enemies. Dude, it's
yeah,
like ridiculous, man.
so they either need to make you make it to where you're fighting something abnormal, or they need to take care of that that issue.
Mhm.
But yeah, they set the stage with the disease and everything. They set the stage that they can introduce something like that and it wouldn't look weird.
Yeah, like
So it could be
even
pretty
though the first
interesting.
one was very serious, they could take it in another direction of some science fiction-y stuff.
Right.
For sure. I don't know, man. I I don't know. I'm at a loss for words right now. I don't know what I'm saying.
Man, you're not feeling the vision, are you?
Yeah, what's up today, man?
I don't know, man. I'm
Yeah.
like I'm just at a loss for what I'm trying to say. But any other thoughts on Ubisoft E3 predictions, anything like that, boys?
Nope.
No, that's about it. Those are about the games I would want. I know they're gonna probably talk a division, and I'm hoping they show something for. Hope they show a Splinter Cell or
That
tell
would
me
be
Yeah,
pretty
something
nice.
about it.
and even
That'd
though
be
I
very
never played the
nice.
first one, I am actually pretty excited for Beyond Good and Evil. See some more on that because I don't know. It just looks like an interesting game. I don't know really what it's all about, but it could be some good fun.
Yeah,
So
yeah, that does an interesting game too. 'Cause I played it on the old Xbox.
yeah. All right, boys. Well, we'll go ahead and get on into these outros here, I suppose. Starting off with you, Monkey Man. Where can we find you?
You guys can find me on Twitter at Monkey Punch. I mean Monkey Baby, but my name's actually Monkey Punch. On Xbox, you can find me at the same name. PSN, the same name, Monkey Punch, and hit me up if you want to play something. It all depends on what game you guys want to play. So I got all 3 consoles. So
For sure, for
let me
sure.
know. Let me know.
And M Baines, man. Where can we find you?
MBanes99. That's Twitter, Xbox, and PlayStation, man. And I enjoyed it.
Yep. As for myself, Remix Essence, you can find me across the board on Twitter, Xbox, PlayStation, and so forth. And thank you guys all for coming out, watching the show. Please hit that thumbs up button, subscribe, share this video out to other people because we really appreciate it. And
Yeah.
as for that, have a great weekend, and we're out.
Peace.